Hey everyone, Social Solipsist here with another week of 52 and 52. And this week we are playing a game that you should know the name of, and if you don't, frankly, why are you here? Anyway, moving on. This one is a little bit of a cheat game for me, according to my rules, but I'm going to give myself an excuse. I have played this game many times before. I've probably beaten it in full about 6 different times on several different systems. However, I have never owned this game on any system, and on top as for saying I'm only going to play new games. This is of course if I've never owned it before, this is the first one I've owned and the first time I've played it. But also I've been playing some other games on my new PlayStation TV. And I can't figure out how to capture that properly. It's the HDCP is giving me trouble. So we're doing this instead. So I love this game, as you can probably tell by the number of times I've played it. But this version is really disappointing me thus far. It's got a lot of issues. Yeah, it does look graphically better. There are a lot of graphical improvements. And that's where we immediately get into the problems. It runs at 60 FPS. Or should I say parts of it run at 60 FPS. Unfortunately, they've made the game engine run at 60 FPS, but not all of the parts of it, not all of the animations and things like that run at 60 FPS. And it's not, if it was just a graphical issue, I'd let it slide. But it's not. It's mechanical. It straight up breaks QuickTime events because they run at 2 times speed and therefore are basically unbeatable because you would have to mash inhumanely fast. Amongst other problems, audio is not optimized. Some things are directional as far as audio goes, and some are not. And for those of you who know the game well, know that knowing where audio comes from is important. There is a graphical upgrade, but a lot of the textures are minimal updates. They added some tessellation and stuff like that. But to be perfectly honest, you could probably have slapped anti-aliasing on one of the old versions and gotten something pretty comparable. Let's see, what else? Some of the inputs straight up just have lag. Like just certain animations, certain actions have lag on specific devices. That gets into some of my complaints about the controls, because I did at one point try out the original PC release, which was absolute garbage. Not the least of which was because if you wanted to play it with keyboard and mouse, you literally needed 3 hands to play it on PC, 2 for the keyboard and 1 for the mouse. Not a joke. You can look it up. And they have improved it somewhat, and they do give you some various options as far as control schemes. But the plain and simple fact is that none of them meet what is required for an HD upgrade like this one, especially for a PC release. I have been playing with mouse and keyboard because I actually think it's the best of the options available. I've tried it with the various mappings on the controller, and they just don't work the way I'd like them to, and they're a little bit laggy in certain places and things like that. They're just not well optimized. And though both the controller and keyboard and mouse offer different schemes that are supposed to be like quote unquote modernized, they are not by any means more updated. They're more updated, but they are not by any means up to par with what you might expect from a more modernized third-person shooter. And I wouldn't necessarily want it to be them to rewrite the control scheme. I wouldn't want it to stop being stop and pop. But yeah, they could have done that a lot better. I've got a long list of grievances with this release, and it's actually prompted me to go ahead and write sort of a long running review of RE4 in its various iterations. And I might get to that at some point, or it might just die in a Word document. We'll see what happens. But I do love this game, just not this version. That said, I'm going to keep playing it anyway, because it's the only one I have. So that's it for this week. I'm hoping I keep saying it, but I hope next week I'll have a little bit more extensive content for you. But I'll see you then.